if you really changed. Have you really changed your ways? That's what God cares about. That's what Jesus Christ cares about, right? Because I mean, there is no hate in heaven. Y'all,
Jesus Christ is the King.
what's good, you guys? It's Capital J Productions. I'm back with another video. This might be a long one, so this might just be a podcast, but I'm probably gonna put this on YouTube. So I wanted to talk about this, right? This whole Charlie Kirk situation. I wasn't gonna talk about it, but I gotta talk about this Hulk Hogan dream that I had a few weeks ago, right? I had planned on talking about this because God gave me a dream about Hulk Hogan, right? This was a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, he died, right? And shortly after that I had this dream. Maybe about a week after he died, I had a dream. God gave me an update about him, and I saw him in this dream. He was complaining about hell. So his soul is in hell and he was suffering in hell. And he was complaining. He's basically was complaining to God about, his suffering in hell. So he is in hell. This is something I do know for a fact. This is something I cannot lie about, because my own soul will be at jeopardy if I get on here and I tell you guys a lie. So understand that, right? I really do serve God. I really do have dreams and visions from God. I talk to God all the time. He talks back to me in dreams. I never did ask him about Hulk Hogan and his soul and where he went. He just decided to give me a dream and tell me about, his soul and how he's complaining in hell. So Hulk Hogan is in hell and he is suffering greatly in hell. And he was basically complaining to me, you know, and God would basically was showing me that he was he was basically, I guess, trying to get himself out of hell because he's suffering in hell. Um, and that's the dream that I had, right? Which kind of blew me away because, I was always a fan of Hulk Hogan, and up until the day I found out he didn't like black people, obviously, right? Um, so uh, he was my favorite wrestler growing up. I think he was a lot of people's favorite wrestlers growing up. Like, I mean, who didn't like the Hulkster? You know what I mean? Like, everybody loved him. And you know, but to come to find out, like at the end of his career, and you know, the all the racist stuff he said, and you guys do your homework. I'm not gonna go over everything, but it had to do with his daughter Brooke. She had a black boyfriend, and he didn't like that. He disapproved, and I think a couple of calls got leaked or something like that. But I mean, he had his chances to apologize. He didn't want to apologize. There's wrestlers that's on, like, I know The Undertaker spoke about him, how he lied to The Undertaker, on some things. And some other wrestlers, black wrestlers that came and gave him opportunities, what I'm saying, to apologize and come speak at black, colleges or on black stages, and he didn't want to do it. He was clearly a racist. And see, the thing about it is, right, is that Jesus Christ is black. That's what, the white Christians they don't want to accept that, but that's the truth. Jesus is who he is, right? If Jesus was white, I'll be on here telling you guys he was white, but he wasn't. And I know because I had a dream about it, right? I had a dream, and God told me himself, that Jesus Christ is black. And that was a long time ago. He told me, but you can read this in Revelations, right? Revelations talks about the skin color of God, right? Talks about It talks about it. So that's how we know God is black. So if God is black, of course his son is going to be black. But they don't want to talk about that, right? So I want to get a little bit more into because people don't understand, like Hulk Hogan, they say he became a Christian near at the end of his life and all that. He started wearing all these, these Christian quotes and these Bible quote shirts and stuff like that. But that don't matter. God really cares about if you really changed. Have you really changed your ways? That's what God cares about. That's what Jesus Christ cares about, right? Because I mean, there is no hate in heaven. Y'all got to understand this. There's no hate in heaven. There is no racism in heaven, right? There is none of that. I mean, if you don't like a particular race, there's no way you can go to heaven. You can be black and hate whites. You ain't going to heaven. I'm telling you guys right now. So all the hate in your heart, you might as well work on that and get it out. And see, like, I know I talk about white people a lot in my videos, right? But I'm not talking about all white people in my videos. There is a lot of good white people out here, and I've been seeing their videos, and they're fighting the system. And I'm probably going to start mentioning some of these folks, right? Like Tim Wise is one of them that comes to my mind. Tim Wise has been fighting the system. He talks about white supremacy. He talks about how white privilege. He talks about that a lot. And, his story is incredible. And he's one of the guys out here trying to fight the system and really just really be fair about things. It's white men like him who are going to heaven, right? Because they speak truth, right? It's about the truth. It's not about narratives. It's not about trying to push people in a certain direction, trying to control this side, trying to control that side. It's not about that. It's about the truth, you know? So I'm here to make this video because I have been serving the Lord for an extremely long time, maybe 25 plus years. It's been a very long time, right? I have dreams from God all the time. I could tell y'all a lot of stuff, but I'm not here trying to get clout, and I'm not here trying to just gain a bunch of followers. I'm not here just to get, likes. I'm here to gain more soldiers for the Lord. That's really what I'm doing. And God allows me to do it the way that I do it. He allows my way of doing it with my skills, with my talents, and we work together. You know what I'm saying? He showed me some things from time to time, and about some of these celebrities like Diddy. He told me over a year ago that Diddy was dead. This was before he got arrested. And I made a video right after, right after he got arrested. And right after he got arrested, he told me that Diddy was dead. So I know Diddy is not getting out of his situation. He's not. He's gonna be dead soon. And then now, just recently, the last celebrity I had a dream about was Hulk Hogan, and how Hulk Hogan went to hell. God sent him to hell already. So some people, because you can read about it in the Bible, some people did good enough that they went to heaven right away, right? And you do good enough, you can go to heaven right away. You don't have to wait until that line to be judged, right? Just like Jesus Christ, he went to heaven right away. He didn't have to wait. He did so good with God that he went directly to heaven. Same thing with Moses, right? Moses went directly to heaven. So it depends how good you do on this earth or how bad you do on this earth. God is the one who judges. He judges all, and and he determines whether you're gonna wait and you get the rest, or you go straight to hell because you did so bad, and all you did was spread hatred in the world, no love at all. So it depends. He's the judge, right? But I can only tell y'all what God showed me, right? So I want to talk about now this Charlie Kirk situation, right? Because Charlie Kirk, he's been trending like there's no tomorrow, right? And I want to talk about that. So a lot he seems to have have affected a lot of white people. Well, a lot of people in general, right? A lot of people have a lot to say about him, and I had to go do my research on him because I didn't know who he was until he just recently got assassinated, right? And I did a lot of research, you know, on him, only to find out like this guy really just, my conclusions. I'm gonna go on my conclusions, right? On what I see and what God allowed me to see. But I didn't want it to just judge him off of just the public speakings, right, that he did and the stuff that he said about black people, right? Because there was nothing positive he said about black people, which is, I mean, that comes off as racist, number one, right? He didn't have anything positive to say about black people, at least from my evidence that I found. Because I was looking like, okay, well, if he's a racist, right? Like I wanna find out if he really was a racist, just like Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan there's evidence that he was he was racist, right? So I wanted to give Charlie Kirk a fair chance, right? Because that's what it's about, like a fair judgment. I do it as God has taught me. He'd be fair about things. He's gonna look at everything, right? Like God looks at everything as a whole. So I did the same thing as what God taught me to do on how he judged people. So I went and did the same thing for Charlie Kirk. And so I found, like, I put in Google, right? Like, what did Charlie speak? Did Charlie Kirk speak at any black colleges? And I couldn't get no answer, right? There's no black colleges. He seems to talk about black people a lot, right? But he never spoke at any black colleges. Like, wow, okay, if you're really trying to help black people, or you talk about black people, you seem to talk about black people a lot, you should be going out of your way to go to, black colleges, right? And talk to them. So you could maybe find out from actual black students in the black community on why these so-called, crime stats are so high, right? The stuff that he put out was false anyway. It wasn't really true stats. It was stuff that he made up, right? Which would basically verify his racist or his hate towards black people, right? It doesn't give him a good, look for sure. But, I went on to say, okay, I couldn't find that, right? Because Google, they when they don't have an answer for something, it's basically a no, right? So, I mean, then I asked it, I think I asked it in a different, I put in what colleges did Charlie Kirk speak at, right? And it's kind of hard to actually find a list of that too, I guess, because they would know, people will find out the truth that he really just went to all these white colleges, right? Spewing all these lies to white young impressionable white kids who it's like he was trying to groom them to just believe that black people, we are the real threat, right? And the truth of the matter is we're not, and that's the truth. I don't think any black person is dumb enough to go kill a white man the way that he was killed, right? Like, we're just not that dumb, right? We're not gonna do it, we know, because we already getting hammered, like, for doing nothing, you know what I'm saying? So we know the system is against us. We're not about to do, go out of our way to really get hammered. But if you guys come talk to us, like, you sit down and you come talk to me, I could tell you how black people think. I could tell you how black people are. I've been around the black community more than anybody, but now I kind of stay in the white community now. So, I see how the white community is. I see how racist the white community really is. Not all of them. I see the good white people too. And see, that's the difference between me and somebody like Kirk, right? I'm able to see the good in white people. You know what I'm saying? Like I see good white people. I've talked to good white people, but I've also I know I've talked to some racist white people. I've talked to some people, or at least I tried to talk to some white people and they wouldn't talk to me back. You know what I mean? But they act all positive with their own people. But then when it came down to me and I see them interacting with others, white strangers and other ethnicities of people. But then when it come down to me, it's just all, stay away, So that's how I know, right? You got to learn behavior, like people's behavior. It matters. You know what I'm saying? The patterns and how people behave, and their, um, like how they behave, it matters, right? And you have to ask questions. Why they want to talk to that person and they won't talk to me? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm smiling. I'm a nice person. I can understand if I came off, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm looking at you all mean and you know what I'm saying, I'm not smiling or I'm seem unapproachable, you know what I'm saying? But in most cases, that's not the case with me. And you know, I've, with some people, of course, I'm gonna, if I see I'm not being fairly treated, I'm gonna look at you all, I'm not gonna be happy with you. That's because you're not treating me fairly. You know what I'm saying? You're being racist to me. And I could tell by your habits that you're being racist to me. I see how you treat the other neighbors versus treating me. I can clearly see that. I'm a very smart individual. I'm brilliant. You know what I'm saying? I'm very brilliant. So that's the thing. It's like, did Charlie have any good thing to say about black people, or was it all just negative? You know what I mean? Like, and for what I can find, there was no good things he said about us. So that makes me believe that he was, you know, he was racist. And that's, until somebody comes and show me a video, you know what I'm saying, of him speaking positive about black people, that's just going to be my judgment of him, because that's what God taught me to be. This is what you have to do on earth, right? Like, if you keep it, you have to go based off of what you look and what you hear and what you see. That's why God gave us eyes, ears, and, you know what I'm saying, and be able to to make our judgments. You know what I'm saying? Not that we're supposed to be judging people, but I mean, we do we have to go by what we see and what we hear so we can know, like, okay, let me just stay away from that person or those people because I see what they are. I see what type of time they on, right? Like I'll say this, that I see a lot of beautiful white women around here, right? Beautiful. I'm talking about the other day, right? There was this young white woman, girl was beautiful, and beautiful. She was nice and she had a nice shape, everything, right? But she was walking in front of me and she waved, you know what I mean? She just happened to wave to me like, like, hi, like, thanks, for letting me go by. And you could see like, she was already beautiful, right? Like, she was beautiful, beautiful white woman, right? But you can see the beauty in her heart because I'm a black guy and most of the times this doesn't happen, right? But you can see the purity in her heart because she smiled at me and she waved like, thank you, thank you for allowing me to pass by. But you can see that she's not racist. You can see that she didn't care that I was black. And this happened to me on a number of cases out here, right? Where there was beautiful white women that smiled at me and said hi and talked to me. So, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? Like, glad to see you and glad, I'll be nice to those people, right? It's not that many males that it's usually females, right? That this happened to me. That's another thing I paid attention to. But my point is that, like I can't be racist, right? If I have something good to say about the white race, right? Like, and I have a lot of positive things to say about the white race because the white race, it ain't all bad. Like it's y'all pretty much made this country. You know what I'm saying? Is it all good? No, there's a lot of bad things to it, but I'm saying there's a lot of good things that they've made about this country, right? So, but the fact that Kirk couldn't find, anything good to say about black people is kind of crazy because we're responsible for, like we're responsible for a lot of stuff, even being in this country. If you do your homework and you do your, you realize the black people, we're responsible for a lot of things in this country. Okay, so but you have to do your own homework on that. But yeah, so a racist like Charlie Kirk, he was a believer in Jesus, but I really believe he was a believer in white Jesus, which is a made up Jesus. It's not real Jesus. If you believe in a white Jesus, that is something made up. Let me just break it down to you guys, right? So let's just say, right? That's just like me saying, well, okay, I believe in Charlie Kirk, right? But Charlie Kirk was black. He wasn't white, he was black. A lot of you guys are gonna be laughing at me and y'all gonna be like, no, dude was clearly white. He wasn't black, right? So, and y'all will fight and y'all would show me pictures and y'all would give me post after post after post after post saying like, hey, Charlie White was white. He wasn't black, bro. Like it's clearly see he was white. He wasn't black, right? Now, of course, Jesus case is a little bit more, but the facts are there, right? Like if you dig deep, you know what I mean? It's a lot of scholars that even say dude, like he was black. And they know if you talk to the right people, the historians, they all will tell you that Jesus was black. And there's no way he could have been white, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's like, we just have to learn how to accept people for who they are, what they are. Nobody has a choice when it comes to their skin color. You just, one day you wake up and you either white or you black or you Mexican or whatever you are, right? And that's your nationality and that's who you are and that's where you come from. And it is what it is. You have to do what's best for you, right? In your life, in your situation, I love all races of people. I talk about all races of people, you know what I'm saying? Because this is what God want me to do. He want me to set straight on some things, you know what I mean? He know people need to believe in the truth, not just believe in lies, right? So let's not believe in lies. Let's believe whatever our eyes and our ears tell us and stop trying to make excuses for people who we like or people who we maybe looked up to at one point. A lot of times y'all just got to accept it for what it is. Like, okay, you dig deep. Let me look into this person. Let me see. Did they have anything good to say about, Asian people? Did they have anything good to say about people, people from other countries, people who can't help in the situation, at least, poor people can't help in the condition that they was born in. You can't help it. You know what I'm saying? I know I couldn't. I was born in the ghetto. I was with my parents. I was in the situation I was in. It's not like I could have just transformed myself into being a Mexican or being a white person from the suburbs. You can't do that. You stuck with whatever God give you, and that's that, right? Now I was able to live in the ghetto and then get myself out of that. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm living in one of the best neighborhoods you could stay in, right? So, but it took me years to get to where I am now, right? I had to work, and I'm still working hard, and I'm still trying to, because I've seen even better neighborhoods than where I stay right now, right? Because I'm on the white side, you know what I'm saying? I've lived on the black side.
I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end.